Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have another budget store find. Now, it didn't come in a box as it normally would. It came in a bag, and the reason I don't have the bag here is because I ripped it open to verify that all the pieces were in there and everything else, because I wouldn't want to do an unboxing without it being a complete game. So I ripped through it and went through everything, and everything was in there, so I figured I'd do a quick unboxing for you with this one today. The plastic containers obviously did not come with this in the packaging when I picked it up. It was all scattered together in a big plastic bag, which I disposed of already. But I put them in these boxes just so I can kind of keep everything together and make sure it's available. So if you were to purchase this really at a store, obviously those would not be included, but everything else you would see would be in the core box set of Doomtown Reloaded. So put this stuff to the side for a minute, and let's start off with the rule book. So it says Doomtown Reloaded, getting to know Gamora. Again, gives you a table of contents, learn to play in one dang turn. It's a how-to guide. So you got the setup, looking at the cards, how you set those up, how they're utilized in the core game. The gambling phase, low ball, reveal and resolve. Finishing up. Upkeep, production, high noon. More rules, different plays, different examples of play. Things you can do. Then it goes to shootout at the general store, forming posses, breaking and entering, slinging lead, shootout round 1. Pick your shooter and you draw. So you're gonna fight. Shows your hand again. It's almost like blackjack hands that you're looking at. Reveal and resolve. Take your lumps. High noon continued. Again, more and more examples. A lot of examples of how to play in this handout here. Shoot up at the Carter's bounties, forming posses, breaking and entering, slinging lead, shootout round 1. Again, more information, pick your shooter, and again, draw. Reveal and resolve, take your lumps, run or gun, high noon continued, more information, sundown to epilogue, them outfits, opening act, the 4th ring, the coach comes to town, the Sloan gang, night at the circus, the law dogs, novel correspondence, Morgan Cattle Company, and there you have it. That's everything that's included in your, I guess this would be your rule book, part of your rule book right there, getting to know Gamora. So I'm going to put that to the side real quick. Also came with 2 game boards, so the game boards are identical. So let's take a look at these, and there's 2 of those included. So top here it says forming a posse for a shootout. My dudes are forming posses for jobs. My dudes are, it tells you who the type you can choose from. Yes, 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 no, not applicable. And the hand ranks, like I said to you, you're looking for different, and I'll show you the cards in a little bit there. But again, you're looking for poker hands. So like that dead man's hand, 5 of a kind, straight flush, 4 of a kind, full house flush, straight, 3 of a kind, 2 pairs, 1 pair, high card. So there you go, like that. And again, has a very cool Western feel to which I really like. There's your deeds to different locations. Home, some more deeds, out of town, movement, and there's where the battling's going to happen, is in town square, obviously. So you get 2 identical boards that look like this. Again, this is the core box set of Doomtown Unloaded. So you get 2 of those. Getting to know Gamora, the town. You also have your rules of play. So this would be, I guess this is showing you how to learn to play manual, and this is your actual rule book, which is right here. So again, welcome to Doomtown. Let's read a little bit of background about this. The year is 1878, but the history is not our own. After almost 2 decades of bitter fighting, the American Civil War has ground to a standstill. The Confederate States have retained their sovereignty. Much of California has fallen into the Pacific Ocean. A superfuel called Ghost Rock advances technology by unpredictable leaps and sometimes dangerous bounds. The Sioux have retaken the Dakotas, and the Coyote Confederation dances the ghost dance on the high plains. Monsters stalk the deserts and prowl the dark streets of the boom towns. Some even say the dead walk among us. But where are the monsters? So there are heroes, hex-slinging hucksters, Bible-thumping preachers, deadly gunfighters, fearless braves, wizened shamans, and mad scientists armed with weird steampunk gadgets. Heroic, foolhardy, visionary, or simply too headstrong to let some abomination tell them what to be afraid of. The frontier is carved out by heroes who take a stand against the forces of terror. Gomorrah, called Doomtown, needs such heroes. A huge vein of ghost rock was struck in the maze there, turning it into a boomtown. It seemed like the veins were mostly tapped out, but the miners still find large deposits. As long as the miners keep digging, others will be waiting. Bartenders and soiled doves, outlaws and law dogs, even the politicians and accountants are hard-bitten folk, all wanting a piece of the pie for themselves. Gomorrah's seen more than its share of misery. The heroes of the town defeated a rogue demon, Nick Nevin, at great cost. Even so, it was a mysterious monster-filled storm that ended up ravaging the valley and killing most of the townsfolk. Dave Montreal is the sheriff now, upholding the law as best he can as the town rebuilds while refugees from the region make their way to Gomorrah. The Morgan Cattle Company moved in, making Gomorrah Cattle Town on top of everything else. A gang of rogues and outlaws sporting real bandanas have encamped amongst the ruins of a neighboring town, and they ain't fixing to leave anytime soon. A circus rolled into town and set up. No one remembers quite when and why they are staying is a mystery. Gomorrah is a hard place that has seen more than its share of action, and a good day is any day that doesn't end in a pine box. That's why they call it Doomtown. So that's a little background fluff about Doomtown for you. Table of contents, what you're going to try to get done, stuff that comes inside the box. Again, the outfit card, how to read the actual cards, the information you find on the 4 factions: the Law Dogs, the Sloan Gang, the Morgul Cattle Company, and the Fourth Ring, which is really cool because all the cards that are linked to each of these different groups have the different icons on it. So that is really helpful when you're playing this game and you're separating the cards into the different factions. It's really helpful. Deed cards, different places you could win. Dude card, meaning the different people that are going to be part of your gang. Good cards, different weapons you can use during your fights. You have your spell cards, which is obviously spells that you can, extra powers that your characters can get. Action cards, the Joker card, different kinds of counters. You've got learning the ropes. The cards are always right unless they're wrong. Decks, discards, and boot hill. Get more information. Card values, hands, and cheating. Bootin' cards. Locations and adjacency. Owner and controller. Uniqueness. Making plays and reacting. Setup. Sequence of play. Gambling phase. Upkeep phase. High noon phase. The sundown phase. Plays you can make at high noon. You could acting, calling out, moving, shopping for different items, trading, shootouts, forming posses, breaking and entering, slinging lead. Step 1, you make a play. Step 2, pick your shooter. Step 3, you draw. Reveal and resolve. Step 5, take your lumps. Again, some more examples. Step 6, run and gun. Step 7, chamber another round. Them other rules, card text, aces, harrow dudes, help text, how long, how big, jobs, start the job, choose the mark, form posses, Again, how the board's going to look once cards are placed on it and you're actually playing a game. Saddling up, is the job done? Pulls, skills, rattans. Wanted dudes, winning. So how do you win the game? There it is right there. If it's the start of sundown phase and you have more control points than the highest influence total among the other players, you win. If 2 or more players meet the above victory conditions, with the most control points wins. If that's also tied, the player with the most influence wins. If that's also tied, play another deck and check again for victory. This may result in a player who was not tied winning the game. Stacking a deck, a pendant, rustling up some helps. This is your appendices. And of course, in the back, you got your credits for all the good people who brought you this game. Of course, this game is brought to you by 2014 Alderac Entertainment Group. For more information, go to peginc.com. Again, it's by Pinnacle Entertainment Group as well. And of course, the ranking of, again, you're looking for basically poker hands. So dead man's hand, 5 of a kind, straight flush, 4 of a kind, full house, flush, straight, 3 of a kind, 2 pairs, 1 pair, and the high card. And again, more information, go to www.alderac.com/Doomtown. And see, you guys, again, this was released in 2014. So there you go. Again, there's no box that I have here because I picked up at a budget store and I picked it for this was, I think, $6. So I'm very happy with what I found here. So again, these plastic containers are not, I just had a couple laying around, so I wanted to separate the decks and all that stuff there to show you the different things, but these were not included in the purchase when I got it. And I only have it because also I want to keep things separate. The first thing you get out of here, which I can show you, would be your tokens for gold. And you have a bunch of them right here. So they come in 3 different values. You have $1 or 1 gold coin, 5 gold coins, and 2 gold coins. So those are all your different types of tokens that you have. They're all the same front and back, and you get a bunch of those. So those are all your tokens again. Front and backs are exactly the same. So again, they come in 1, 2, and 5 value. So those are your 3 values, 1, 2, and 5. I'll get to the cards after I finish all of the tokens, and here's the other tokens that we have. And basically there are 3 different types of tokens. You have a green token, a red token, and a blue token. There they are. The faces are all the same except for the colors, and you flip them over, it has a little star in the back of each of them. And that's what they look like. So you get a bunch of those of each. Oh, wait a minute. Actually got a 4th color here, so you got a black color there too. So you got 4 colors. You got green, red, blue. Yeah, obviously for one, these 1 for each of the factions, obviously. So you should have 4 colors in there. That's correct. So you get a whole mess of those. And those are basically your influence tokens. Going to shift the sword just so you can see everything. Yeah, so you can tell there's a lot of them there. And then you've got some decks of cards, and of course all of them have the different suits on them. So let's start with this first deck I have here. So you have your Joker cards, which are really, really cool. Again, all the backs are the same. So there you have it. It says this card is only used to draw hands and pulls. You choose its suit and value, ace the Joker after use, meaning get rid of it. But there it is. Really, really awesome, awesome artwork on those cards right there. Very cool. Okay, so you get, obviously, 2 Jokers. Now, you have your faction decks. You have your Law Dogs. You have your Morgan Cattle Company. I'll show you these as we go along. I'm just showing you have the 4th ring. And then you have the Sloan Gang. So let's take a look at each of these one at a time. So the first deck we have here is the Law Dogs. Again, all the cards are set up the same. Point value, bonuses. Again, the star is indicated on each of the cards right down here, which is great. And each has when fighting, what their influences, and then that's the suit. Obviously, so you're looking for a deck of cards. So that, of course, would be a 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind, a pair, and then possibly your 2 could be your highest card, possibly. In this game here, the aces are worth 1 point. They're not worth. So I have it set up where it's ace, it goes 10, jack. There's no queen in this deck, but there's a king and an ace. Aces actually go in the front because they're the weakest of the suits in this game. Again, and it has information on the bottom what you do. Okay, Deputy Noon a job boot. Harry needs a job that marks as wanted dude. If successful, ace the mark. So okay, you have Judge Harry Somerset, Phil Swinford, Tommy Harden, Prescott Utter, Andreas Anderegg, Xiong Wendy Cheng, Clyde Owens, Abram Groth, Sheriff Dave Montreal, Lucinda Lucy Clover. If your opponent in Lucy's shootout reveals a cheating hand, raise the bounty on each dude in their posse by 1, including 0 from 1. So there you go. There's that. So that's your first team, which is the Law Dogs. Your second faction is right here, which are the Spades. Obviously, this one here is, these are the Spades also. Okay, here you go. Again, the Morgan Cattle Company, great artwork once again. Noon boot one of your dudes to play a deed, reducing the deed's cost by the dude's influence. Move that dude to the deed. Again, everything here that you need to know about it, ranking and bonuses. So here again, you have this is a mad scientist. Okay, so let's take a look at these. Again, they're ranked from lowest to highest, but again, in this game, the aces go on the bottom. I just put them in for familiarity, so we know where they are. All right, so we got Professor Eustace True. He's a mad scientist. Elander Boldman. James Getty. Lon Longstride. Lane Healy. Jarrett Blake. Harold Amesley, Remy Lapointe, Max Bain, Irving Patterson. That's everybody who's in your, you want to say clan, in your gang, and whatever you want to call them. So that's Morgan Cattle Company. That's another one. And then we have, I don't want to call them mystical, but they're the strange one that use magic, and that is the 4th ring. Again, after your dude succeeds at a spell, pull while not at home. You may discard a card from your hand to gain 1 ghost rock and draw a card. Again, point values and the factions on the top. Again, the factions are always found down here, so you know which card goes with which group. Okay, so you got a huckster. Micah Rise, Wangguao the Mighty, Bobo, Arnold McCaddish, the Ghostly Gun, an Abomination. So again, A.V. Klein, Harrowed, she's a huckster. Kevin Wainwright, TXR Glenack. Not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but that's an abomination. Gia Main is a huckster. And Ivor Hawley is a Huckster 2, Abomination. So again, all the cards are set up exactly the same. Again, value, during combat, influence, what group they're part of, what gang they're part of. Again, point value. There you are, right there. And your last faction, which would be right here, is the Sloan Gang. Again, it gives you information about it, value, and your bonus card. So you got Fred Ames, Lawrence Blackwood, Marion Seville, Sanford Taylor, Pancho Castillo, Barton Everest, Pancho Castillo. Oh, I had those out of order. Sorry about that. You should go up here. Jonah Essex, Silas Ames, Stanford Taylor, Sloan, and Ali Hensman. Again, the aces are the weakest card. They would go in the front of the deck. But there you go. And that is your Sloan Gang. Again, icon here. Icon tells you which faction your card belongs to. All right, so those are your faction cards. Next one of those, throw that over there. And we've got some more cards in the deck. One thing that's really cool, and again, all the backs are the same for all the cards. One thing that's really cool about this also, I find, is the artwork is just really, really awesome for each. Very lifelike. It's not cartoony at all. It really captures the Western feel, which is really, really awesome. Now, here are your different decks of cards. Again, you have all the different suits in here. You have the spades, you have the hearts. Another box, we have the diamonds and the clubs. So we're just going to go through this. Again, Olivia Jenks, Ramiro Mendoza, Steel Archer, Travis Moon, Andronicles Brocklehurst, Stephen Wiles, Dr. Dawn Edwards, again, mad scientist, Clint Ramsey, Eve Henry, Gunslinger, Clementine Lepp, and a Gunslinger. That's your, again, in this case for this deck here, the aces are the weakest. They would tend to go up front here as ones, not as the high card in normal poker games. Okay, they go, those are all of your spade cards. That's your spade deck. And then you also have, these are your weapons. So you got your Peacemaker, Blue Tick, you get a Sidekick, Ace in the Hole, that's a hex. Again, shotgun's a weapon, Whiskey Flask, Pearl Handled Revolver, it's a weapon, a horse, Mustang, Rowan, it's another horse, Auto Revolver, it's a weapon, gadget, difficulty 7, Pinto, another horse, Flamethrower, weapon, gadget, difficulty 8, Force Field, difficulty 5, obviously that's a spell, Quick Draw Handgun, Mechanical Horse, Tin Star, Doyle's Hoyle, Shadow Walk, Doyle's Hoyle, Buffalo Rifle, Blood Curse, Legendary Holster, Raising Hell, Auto Cattle Feeder, Soul Blast. Let's take a look at this. It's a hex. Shootout, Hex X Boot. Choose a dude in this shootout. X is that dude's grit. If successful, send the dude home booted. If successful by 6 or more, ace the dude instead. If unsuccessful, move this huckster home booted. He's worth 1 point. Okay, so we got this Soul Blast. Okay, that's Soul Blast. Then you have a pair of 6 shooters. Excellent. So there's your weapon deck. And last but not least, we've got our clubs. And we have our diamonds. So this is basically a weapon deck. These are more people who can join your gang to make your gang stronger. So again, trespassing, make the smart choice, bottom dealing, make the smart choice, bottom dealing, sun in your eyes, auction, when the cards can be used during the noon phase, during the shootout phase. It's all located right here on your cards. Everything is explained. When you use these cards. Noon. Okay. Sun in your eyes. Stakes just rose. Again, remember you're trying to get 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind. So if you have a 3 of spades, a 3, let's just say 4 of a kind. You have 4 diamonds, 4 spades, 4 hearts, and a 4 of clubs. That's a 4 of a kind. So again, you're getting these cards to strengthen your hands and to try to obviously try to defeat the other opponents that you have there. So again, let's get back here again. So again, trespassing, meet the smart choice, bottom dealing, sun in your eyes, auction, the stakes just rose. All those. The stakes just rose. We saw that. War paint. Coach whip. That's used during the cheating phase. Noon job. Ambush. Hiding in the shadows. Bad company. Pistol whip. Canceled weapon. Oh, concealed weapon. Sorry about that. Concealed weapons. So meaning they're hidden. Hot lead flying. One good turn. Pin down. Kidnapping. Pin down. Run them down. Bounty hunter. Reserves. Rumors. Cheating varmint. Fresh horses. Magical distraction. Extortion. Unprepared. Recruitment drive. This is a holdup. A coach comes to town. Hex slinging. Taking you with me. Clear out. Missed. Good stiff drink. A secret tunnel. Point blank. Hired guns. Established who's in charge. Lady luck. Hired guns. And establishing who's in charge. So again, that's more hands that you can get. So that is your club deck. Again, so we have our spades deck, we have our clubs deck, we have our hearts deck, and last but not least, we have the various different locations throughout Doomtown itself. So again, name of the location, what it's used for, controller, points, influence, all that stuff is put right here. And these are your diamond cards. So different locations you could run into is a town hall, Gomorrah Parish, First Baptist Church, Yan Lee's Tailoring, Dead Dog Tavern, B&B Attorneys, Pearlie's Place, Charlie's Place, Stagecoach Office, Killer Bunny's Casino, Blake Ranch, Cattle Market, Circle M Ranch, Pat's Perch, Bunkhouse, Morgan's Research Institute, Carter's Bounties, the Union Casino, Jackson's Strike, the Undertaker, again, General Store, the Pharmacy, Railroad Station, Telegraph Office, Bank of California, and the Pony Express. Those, again, locales and different things that you can get where the action is going to take place. Anyway, so that's everything that's included, and this concludes our unboxing of the card game Doomtown Reloaded, brought to you by Pinnacle Entertainment. As always, thank you so much for joining us for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, you can give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. You could also hit the subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well. Enjoy the remainder of your day, and we'll catch you on the next unboxing video.